On a frigid night, as a soft snow flurry danced in the 25-degree-hour air, the neon lights of a gas station on Chicago's South Side, just off 79th Street, cast a warm glow across the snow-dusted pavement. The station, a modest beacon 3 miles from Clara's cramped apartment, pulsed with the quiet rhythm of late-night life. The faint hum of the Red Line train rumbled in the distance, blending with the soulful notes of R&B drifting from a battered radio behind the counter. Delivery trucks idled, their exhaust curling into the chilly air, while weary commuters grabbed coffee from a Dunkin' cup. The familiar pink and orange logo, a small comfort in the cold. For most, this was just a pit stop, a fleeting moment in the urban sprawl of Chicago. But for Clara, a 32-year-old single mother, this gas station was a lifeline, a grueling battleground where every shift meant survival. Clara moved with practiced efficiency, her thin jacket offering little shield against the biting wind as she darted between pumps. Her hands, chapped and raw, wiped down windshields and checked oil levels for hurried customers, each task a small victory in her endless fight to keep her family afloat. 7 months pregnant, her body ached with every step, the weight of her unborn child pressing against her lower back. Yet she pushed on, her face set with a determination that masked the exhaustion etched into her features. Her worn work boots crunched through the 2-inch snow piling on the lot, and her breath formed fleeting clouds in the frosty air. Clara's paycheck tonight, $12 an hour for a 10-hour shift, was critical to cover the $900 rent for their 1-bedroom apartment and the $200 monthly cost of asthma medication for her 8-year-old son, Noah. There was no room for rest, no margin for error. This was her reality, a cycle of survival that left little space for dreams. Under the station's flickering awning, Noah sat bundled in a hand-me-down Chicago Bulls hoodie, his small frame hunched over a scrap of paper, his single blue crayon, worn to a nub, moved with careful precision as he sketched a diner menu, a vision of his mother's long-abandoned dream. The drawing was simple yet vivid, a counter lined with steaming plates of pierogi and meatloaf, a jukebox in the corner, and a blank sign above the door, waiting for a name. Noah's dark eyes, bright with quiet hope, focused intently on his work, as if each stroke could bring his mother's dream closer to reality. Beside him, a plastic cup held a lone granola bar, his dinner for the night. At 8 years old, Noah carried a weight far beyond his years, his sketches a silent prayer for a better future. Into this scene rode Keanu Reeves, his black arch motorcycle cutting through the snow with a low, steady rumble, known off-screen for his humility and quiet generosity. Keanu had just wrapped a late-night film shoot in Chicago's Loop, 7 miles north. He pulled up to a pump, the leather of his jacket creaking as he dismounted, his helmet revealing damp, tousled hair. The station's neon buzzed softly, casting shadows across his weathered face as he scanned his surroundings. Everything seemed ordinary until his gaze landed on Clara. She was hauling a heavy box of windshield fluid, her pregnant frame straining under the weight, only to rush to a car honking for gas. Keanu's eyes narrowed, taking in her forced smile and the faint limp in her step. Then he noticed Noah, engrossed in his sketch, the boy's small fingers gripping the crayon as if it held the weight of his world. Something about this moment stopped Keanu in his tracks, a quiet instinct stirring within him. Keanu approached Noah, his boots crunching softly in the snow. He crouched to the boy's level, keeping a respectful distance. "That's a great drawing," he said gently, his voice warm against the cold. "What's this place?" Noah looked up, startled but curious, his shy smile breaking through. "It's my mom's diner," he whispered. "She wants to make pierogi like my grandma did. I'm designing the menu." Keanu's gaze softened as he studied the sketch, noting the care in every line, the blank sign a poignant symbol of an unfulfilled dream. He glanced back at Clara, now wiping a windshield 20 feet away, her face betraying the pain she tried to hide. In that instant, Keanu saw more than a tired mother and her son. He saw resilience, hope, and a dream buried under the weight of circumstance. Clara, catching sight of Keanu near Noah, hurried over, wiping her hands on her apron. "Noah, don't bother the gentleman," she said, her tone polite but guarded, a reflex honed by years of fending for herself. "He's no bother," Keanu replied, standing with a calm smile. "I was just admiring his art. He's got a real talent." Clara's eyes flickered with a mix of curiosity and caution. But before she could respond, another car horn blared from the next pump. "Excuse me," she murmured, turning back to work, her movements heavy with fatigue. Keanu watched her go, his mind racing. He thought of his own mother, who had worked long nights to support him, her sacrifices paving the way for his dreams. Clara's struggle mirrored that strength, and Noah's quiet hope reminded him of his own childhood aspirations. He knew he couldn't walk away. What Keanu did next would leave the gas station's late-night regulars speechless and transform Clara's life in ways she could never have imagined. His gesture, born from a moment of empathy, would ignite a dream, uplift a family, and send ripples of kindness through Chicago's South Side. This is no ordinary tale. It's a story that warms the heart, rekindles hope, and proves that one act of compassion can change everything. Before we dive deeper, let us know where you're reading from. If stories of resilience and kindness inspire you, share this with a friend, because tomorrow we'll bring you another tale of hope that will light up your day. On this freezing Chicago night, under the glow of neon and snow, a single spark was about to set a community ablaze. Get ready to witness the power of dreams and the magic of kindness. The snow fell steadily, blanketing the gas station lot in a thin, 2-inch layer that crunched under Clara's worn boots. At 25 degrees Celsius, the Chicago night was unforgiving. The neon glow of the station on 79th Street, a stark contrast to the dark, quiet streets of the South Side. The low hum of a powerful engine cut through the stillness as Keanu Reeves guided his black arch motorcycle to a pump, its sleek frame gleaming under the flickering lights. He had just finished a late-night film shoot in the Loop, 7 miles away, and the cold air stung his face as he dismounted, his leather jacket creaking softly. Clara, bundled in a thin jacket that did little to shield her 7-month pregnant frame, was checking the oil of a beat-up sedan. Her chapped hands trembling from the chill, she moved with a mechanical precision, her face set in a polite smile despite the ache radiating from her lower back. Under the station's awning, 8-year-old Noah sat on a plastic chair, his small frame dwarfed by a hand-me-down Chicago Bulls hoodie, a single blue crayon, worn to a stub, scratched across a scrap of paper as he sketched a diner menu with intense focus. The drawing depicted a cozy counter lined with plates of steaming pierogi and meatloaf, a jukebox glowing in the corner, and a blank sign above the door, a placeholder for his mother's dream. Noah's breath fogged in the cold air, but his eyes burned with purpose, as if each line could will Clara's diner into existence. A plastic cup beside him held a half-eaten granola bar, his only meal since lunch at school. The station's radio played a soulful Al Green tune, its melody weaving through the clatter of gas pumps and the distant rumble of the Red Line train. Keanu's gaze swept the scene, his helmet tucked under one arm. He noticed Clara first, her strained movements as she hefted a heavy box of windshield fluid, her quick glance to ensure Noah was safe. Then his eyes settled on Noah, the boy's small fingers gripping the crayon with a determination that seemed too big for his age. Something about the pair stopped Keanu, a quiet tug at his heart. He approached Noah, his boots leaving faint tracks in the snow, and crouched to the boy's level, keeping a respectful distance. "That's some serious artwork," Keanu said, his voice gentle but warm. "What's this place you're drawing?" Noah looked up, his dark eyes wide with surprise, but a shy smile broke through. "It's my mom's diner," he said softly. "She wants to make pierogi like my grandma did." I'm designing the menu. Keanu leaned closer, studying the sketch's careful details, the curve of the counter, the blank sign waiting for a name. That's a great vision, he said, his tone earnest. What's the best dish on this menu? Noah hesitated, then pointed to a plate of pierogi. These, Mom says they're like a hug on a plate. Keanu chuckled, the sound low and genuine. But his eyes flicked to Clara, now pumping gas 20 feet away, her face betraying a flicker of pain as she stretched. Clara caught sight of Keanu near Noah and hurried over, wiping her hands on her apron, her breath visible in the cold. Noah, don't bother the gentleman, she said, her voice polite but edged with caution, a reflex from years of protecting her son in a tough world. He's no bother, Keanu replied, standing with a calm smile. I was just learning about his art. He's got a real talent for design. Clara's expression softened slightly, but her eyes remained wary, scanning Keanu's face for motive. Before she could respond, a car horn blared from the next pump, sharp and impatient. Excuse me, she murmured, turning back to work, her steps heavy with fatigue, a slight limp betraying the strain of her pregnancy. Keanu watched her go, his gaze lingering on the way she forced a smile for the customer, despite her evident exhaustion. He turned back to Noah, who had resumed sketching, adding a jukebox to his diner scene. Your mom works hard, doesn't she? Keanu said softly, crouching again. Noah nodded, his crayon pausing. She's tired a lot, he admitted, his voice small. She cries sometimes when she thinks I'm asleep. 'Cause Dad left when he found out about the baby. Keanu's chest tightened, the boy's words echoing with a weight no child should carry. What happened? He asked gently, sensing Noah needed to share. Noah's eyes stayed on his drawing, his crayon pressing harder. He said he couldn't handle another kid, said it was too much. Keanu nodded, silent for a moment, his thoughts drifting to his own mother, who had worked night shifts as a single parent to give him a chance at his dreams. Clara's struggle mirrored that sacrifice, her grit a quiet fire keeping Noah's hope alive. He stood, his resolve hardening. This wasn't just a fleeting moment at a gas station, it was a chance to make a difference. Clara returned, her hands now smudged with oil, her face pale under the neon lights. She sat beside Noah, rubbing her lower back, her breath shallow. Keanu stepped forward, his tone careful but direct. You look like you're carrying a lot, he said, gesturing subtly to her work. And Noah, do you get any time to rest? Clara let out a quiet laugh, humorless and tired. Rest. That's a luxury I can't afford. I work 10-hour shifts here at $12 an hour. Clean offices in the mornings. And it barely covers the $900 rent and Noah's $200 a month asthma meds. With the baby coming, I've got no choice but to keep going. Keanu's eyes softened, but his voice held a quiet conviction. That sounds like more than anyone should carry alone. What keeps you going? Clara glanced at Noah, her expression softening. Him, she said simply, his smile, his dreams, and my grandma's recipes. She taught me to make pierogi and meatloaf, said they could bring people together. I used to dream of opening a diner, but her voice trailed off, and she shook her head. I lost $1, $500 in savings to hospital bills for Noah. Dreams don't pay bills. Keanu nodded, processing her words. What about his father? He asked gently. Clara's jaw tightened, her gaze fixed on the snowy ground. He left when I told him I was pregnant again. Said, I can't handle another kid. Packed his stuff and walked out. Noah's crayon slowed, his eyes flicking to his mother. But he stayed silent, his small hand tightening around the paper. Clara forced a smile, squeezing Noah's shoulder. We're okay. We've got each other. Keanu stood quietly, the weight of Clara's story settling over him. He looked at Noah's sketch, the blank sign a symbol of a dream deferred, and then at Clara, her resilience shining through her exhaustion. You're doing more than surviving. he said softly. You're building something, even if it's hard to see right now. Clara met his gaze, surprised by the sincerity in his voice. Before she could respond, another car pulled in, its headlights cutting through the snow. Duty calls, she said, standing with effort. As Clara walked away, Keanu's mind raced. He couldn't shake the image of Noah's sketch or the fire in Clara's eyes when she spoke of her grandmother's recipes. He knew he had to act not out of pity, but because Clara's strength and Noah's hope deserved a chance to shine. What he would do next would change everything, setting the stage for a transformation that would ripple far beyond this snowy gas station. The next morning, the Chicago snow had settled into a 3-inch blanket, softening the harsh edges of the South Side gas station on 79th Street. The air hovered at 28 degrees, and the neon lights buzzed faintly as Clara, still in her thin jacket, organized receipts behind the counter, her 7-month pregnant frame moving slower after a 10-hour shift. Noah, bundled in his Chicago Bulls hoodie, sat nearby, sketching his diner menu with his worn blue crayon, the blank sign above the door still unfinished. The station's radio played a soft Stevie Wonder tune, mingling with the clink of coffee cups from early commuters grabbing Dunkin' on their way to the Red Line. 2 miles away, the familiar rumble of a motorcycle broke the quiet. Keanu Reeves pulled up on his black arch, his leather jacket dusted with snow from the 7-mile ride from downtown. He stepped off, carrying 2 paper bags, his calm smile betraying a quiet determination. Clara glanced up, startled, as Keanu approached the counter. "Good morning," he said, setting the bags down. "Good morning." Noah's eyes lit up, sensing something special. "Morning," he chirped. Clutching his crayon, Keanu turned to Clara, noting the exhaustion in her eyes. "I thought you could use a little help," he said gently, opening the bags. Inside were essentials: bread, milk, apples, peanut butter, and a box of 24 Crayola crayons. Noah gasped, grabbing the crayons like treasure. "Mom, I can finish the diner's logo now," he exclaimed, his smile wide. Keanu handed Clara an envelope containing a $600 check for rent and a flyer for a free Chicago culinary apprenticeship for single parents, covering diner cooking and business skills. "This program's at a community center 3 miles from here," he explained. "It's a chance to learn what you love." Clara's hands trembled as she read the flyer, her instinct to refuse rising. "I don't take charity," she said, her voice firm but wavering, pride clashing with desperation. Noah looked up, his small hand touching hers. "Mom, you always help others," he said softly. "Let someone help us." His words, wise beyond his 8 years, pierced her defenses. Tears welled in Clara's eyes as she met Keanu's gaze, seeing no pity, only belief. "Maybe it's time to try," she whispered, clutching the flyer, a spark of hope flickering. "This isn't charity," Keanu said, his tone steady. "It's a chance to dream again. I'll check in soon." He nodded to Noah, who was already flipping through the crayons, and headed back to his motorcycle. Clara stood still, the flyer in her hand, feeling the weight of possibility for the first time in years. Noah's excitement and Keanu's promise lit a fire she thought had long gone out, setting the stage for a transformation that would change everything. The Chicago winter gave way to a humid summer, the South Side streets shimmering under 85-degree heat as Clara embarked on a journey she never thought possible. 8 months had passed since Keanu Reeves handed her the flyer for a free culinary apprenticeship at a community center 3 miles from the gas station on 79th Street. Clara, now 32 and a new mother to her infant daughter, balanced grueling 10-hour shifts at the gas station, earning $12 an hour with evening classes, her determination fueled by Noah's smile and the faint hope of reviving her dream. She saved $800 from tips, stashing crumpled bills in a coffee can, and poured her heart into learning her Polish-American grandmother's recipes: pierogi, stuffed with potato and cheese, hearty meatloaf glazed with ketchup, while mastering business planning. Each class, held in a bustling kitchen smelling of butter and spices, rekindled her passion for food as a way to bring people together. A spark she thought had been extinguished by years of struggle. Clara's days were relentless. She'd finish her shift at 6 a.m., catch a red line train to drop Noah at school and her baby at a neighbor's, then sleep for 3 hours before heading to the community center. Her hands, still chapped from gas station work, now kneaded dough with precision. Her mind absorbing lessons on inventory and customer service. She faced setbacks, $200 monthly asthma meds. For Noah, drained her savings. And exhaustion threatened to break her. But Noah's sketches of her imagined diner, pinned to their apartment's fridge, kept her going. "You're gonna make the best pierogi, Mom," he'd say, his 8-year-old voice a lifeline. Clara's dream of opening a diner, once buried under $1, $500 in hospital bills, began to feel tangible. Each recipe a step toward a future she could taste. Unbeknownst to Clara, Keanu Reeves worked quietly behind the scenes, his promise to check in unfolding in ways she couldn't imagine. Drawing on his network, he connected Clara with a Chicago small business incubator 5 miles from her apartment, a nonprofit dedicated to uplifting Southside entrepreneurs. Through his advocacy, Clara secured a $5,000 microloan to lease a modest diner space near 79th Street, a cozy 800-square-foot storefront with faded brick walls and a history of serving comfort food. Keanu also enlisted Maria, a retired diner owner from Pilsen, to mentor Clara. Maria, with 30 years of experience, taught Clara cost management, how to buy local sausage for $4 a pound, and stretch a $500 weekly budget. "You've got heart, Clara," Maria said, her voice gruff but warm. "That's what makes a diner special." Keanu's efforts were discreet, ensuring Clara's success would feel like her own. Noah, now 9, played a pivotal role, his creativity shining brighter with the 24 Crayola crayons Keanu had given him. Inspired by his mother's classes, he designed a logo for her diner, a simple pierogi with a heart-shaped center, drawn in bold red and yellow. "This is for your sign, Mom," he said, presenting it one evening, his eyes gleaming. Clara hugged him, tears pricking her eyes, seeing her dream reflected in his art. Noah also envisioned a kids' art corner for the diner, a table where children could sketch while parents ate. He practiced by drawing with neighborhood kids at school, his sketches of jukeboxes and pie slices sparking laughter. His logo and ideas became the diner's heart, a testament to their shared hope. The climax came on a crisp fall morning, the temperature a brisk 50-degree force, when Keanu invited Clara and Noah to the storefront under the guise of a meeting. Clara, pushing her baby stroller, arrived with Noah, who clutched his sketchbook. Keanu stood by the entrance, his leather jacket zipped against the chill, a quiet smile on his face. "What's this?" Clara asked, her voice trembling as she scanned the brick facade. Keanu stepped aside, revealing a sign above the door: Clara's Pierogi Place. Noah's Pierogi heart logo, glowing in neon. Clara froze, her hand covering her mouth as tears streamed down her cheeks. Noah tugged her arm, his voice bursting with excitement. "It's your diner, Mom. Look, my logo inside." The 800-square-foot space was modest but perfect, a functional kitchen with a $2,000 oven, 6 tables draped in checkered cloths, and a jukebox donated by Maria. The menu featured Clara's grandmother's recipes with a Chicago twist pierogi stuffed with local sausage, meatloaf paired with South Side-style collards. Noah's art corner sat in the corner, stocked with crayons and paper. Clara ran her fingers along the counter, her voice barely a whisper. Why?" Keanu's eyes softened. "Because you deserve this. Clara, your talent, your heart, it's special. The world needs to taste it." Noah hugged his mother, his sketchbook open to a new drawing of the diner, the sign now complete. Clara's transformation was more than personal. It was a beacon of hope. The diner, set to open in days, would serve 50 customers daily. Its $5 lunch specials, drawing neighbors from 79th Street to Englewood. Clara's effort, $800 saved. 8 months of study grounded the miracle in her own grit, while Keanu's quiet support and Noah's logo made it soar. As Clara stood in Clara's pierogi place, the weight of her struggles lifted, replaced by a vision of community, connection, and pierogi that hugged the soul. This was only the beginning, a spark that would soon ignite the South Side. On a vibrant spring day, with Chicago's South Side basking in 65-degree sunshine, Clara's pierogi place near 79th Street buzzed with life. The diner, its neon pierogi heart logo designed by 9-year-old Noah glowing proudly, had become a community hub, serving 50 customers daily in its cozy 800-square-foot space. The aroma of pierogi stuffed with local sausage and meatloaf with South Side collards filled the air, drawing neighbors from Englewood to Chatham. Clara, now 33, moved with newfound confidence behind the counter, her infant daughter napping nearby. The diner's success was her triumph, built on 8 months of culinary classes and $800 in saved tips. But its impact reached far beyond her family. Clara transformed the diner into a beacon of opportunity. She hired 2 local teens, paying them $10 an hour, and hosted free cooking classes for single parents on Saturdays, teaching pierogi recipes in the kitchen that once seemed a distant dream. Every community Monday, she offered $5 meals, filling tables with families who shared laughter over checkered cloths. The jukebox, donated by her mentor Maria, played Al Green, knitting the South Side spirit into every bite. Clara's heart swelled as she watched neighbors connect, her grandmother's recipes fostering a warmth that transcended food. The ripple effect was profound. Clara mentored Aisha, a 17-year-old employee with a knack for baking. Inspired by Clara's grit, Aisha used her $400 monthly earnings to enroll in culinary school, dreaming of opening a bakery. "You showed me I can do this," Aisha told Clara, her voice thick with gratitude. On Memorial Day, Clara served free meatloaf to 30 veterans, the diner's walls echoing with stories of service and pride. The event, covered by a local radio station 2 miles away, sparked South Side unity, with neighbors donating desserts to share. At the grand opening, under a 70-degree rare evening sky, Keanu Reeves stood quietly by the entrance, his leather jacket slung over his shoulder. As Clara cut a ribbon to cheers, he stepped forward, his voice steady. "Clara, your story inspired me," he said, revealing a $10 scholarship for single parents at the culinary program, named after Clara's grandmother, Anna. The crowd gasped, and Clara, overwhelmed, clutched Noah's hand, tears streaming. "I'll pay this forward," she vowed, her voice breaking. Keanu smiled, nodding. "That's all I ask." Clara's pierogi place became more than a diner, it was a legacy. Noah's art corner thrived, kids sketching menus as he once did, while Aisha's journey and the Anna Scholarship promised new dreams. Clara's $5 meals and veteran tributes wove the South Side tighter, proving one act of kindness could reshape a community. As Keanu slipped away, Clara knew her work was just beginning. Her diner, a spark that would light countless lives. A year after its grand opening, Clara's pierogi place stood as a cornerstone of Chicago's South Side. Its neon pierogi heart logo, crafted by 9-year-old Noah, shining brightly against the crisp 45-degree autumn evening. The diner, nestled near 79th Street, 3 miles from Clara's old apartment, buzzed with life, serving 50 customers daily in its 800-square-foot space. The aroma of pierogi, stuffed with local sausage and meatloaf paired with South Side collards, wafted through the air, drawing neighbors, workers, and families from across Englewood and Chatham. Clara, now 33, moved with quiet confidence behind the counter, her infant daughter giggling in a high chair nearby, the weight of her past struggles' $900 rent $200 monthly asthma meds for Noah, and the abandonment by her partner had lifted, replaced by a purpose that radiated from her smile. Clara's pierogi place was more than a diner. It was a testament to resilience, dreams, and the transformative power of kindness. Clara's journey had reshaped her life and the community. She had expanded her free cooking classes for single parents, now held twice weekly, teaching 20 participants how to make her grandmother's pierogi and budget-friendly meatloaf. The classes, funded by $5 community Monday meal profits, empowered parents like Clara once was, offering skills and hope. She hired 3 local teens at $10 an hour, including Aisha, who had enrolled in culinary school with her earnings. Inspired by Clara's mentorship, Noah's Kids Art Corner, a table stocked with Crayola crayons and paper, thrived as a haven for young dreamers. Children sketched menus in jukeboxes, their laughter mingling with the diner's Al-Green tunes, while Noah, now sketching new menu designs, beamed with pride. His pierogi heart logo, glowing on the diner's sign, had become a Southside icon, a symbol of possibility etched in neon. Keanu Reeves returned one evening, his black arch motorcycle parked under the diner's glow. 7 miles from his last Chicago film shoot, he slipped into a corner booth, his leather jacket slung over the chair, and watched the bustling scene of families sharing pierogi, teens wiping tables, Noah guiding a younger child's crayon. Clara approached with a plate of meatloaf, her eyes bright. "You're back," she said. Sitting across from him, Keanu smiled, his voice soft but firm. "You built this. Clara, this place, this community, it's yours. Keep the kindness going." Clara nodded, her throat tight. "I wouldn't be here without you," she said. "You gave me a chance to dream again." Keanu shook his head gently. "You had the dream. I just lit the spark." The final scene unfolded on a quiet Monday. The diner's checkered tables half full under 60-degree twilight. Clara noticed a struggling family at a corner table, a mother with 2 kids, their clothes worn, their plates nearly empty. Without hesitation, she brought them a steaming plate of pierogi, free of charge, echoing Keanu's grocery bag from that snowy night a year ago. "This one's on me," she said, her smile warm. The mother's eyes welled with gratitude, and Clara felt a surge of purpose. She glanced at Noah, sketching a new dessert menu with his Crayola crayons, his pierogi heart logo glowing outside. Dreams and kindness change everything, she thought, her heart full. The family's laughter joined the diner's hum, a reminder that her work was now to pay it forward. The diner's impact rippled outward. On Memorial Day, Clara had served free meatloaf to 30 veterans, sparking a tradition that united the South Side. Aisha's culinary school journey inspired 2 more teens to apply, and the $10,000 Anna Scholarship, named after Clara's grandmother and funded by Keanu, supported 5 single parents in the culinary program, ensuring Clara's story would lift others. The diner's $5 meals and classes wove a tighter community, its jukebox and neon sign a beacon for hope. Clara planned to expand, eyeing a second location 5 miles away, her vision growing as bold as Noah's sketches. This story carries a simple yet profound message. Dreams give us hope. Kindness gives us wings. One act: Keanu's grocery bag. Clara's free pierogi can transform a life, a community, and beyond. In a world often shadowed by struggle, Clara's journey reminds us to share kindness, nurture dreams, and build a brighter future. One plate, one smile at a time. Her diner, born from a snowy night's spark, proves that no gesture is too small, no dream too distant, when fueled by compassion. Inspired by Clara's story, share an act of kindness you've seen or done on social media with the Conquer Clara's Dream. Support local diners, like those on Chicago's South Side, or volunteer with small business programs to keep dreams alive. Your actions can ignite the next spark. just as Clara's did. To everyone who's subscribed to our channel, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Your support brings stories like this to life, spreading hope and kindness to every corner of the world. Keep sharing, keep dreaming, and join us tomorrow for another tale that will warm your soul and inspire your heart.